Thank you everyone for joining me. My name is Mark Werchnig. You guys may see it on the screen as Ben Recab. We actually just share lines. So my name is Mark, and today we're going to go over everything booking as far as going from a basic reservation and a single stop. We're going to talk about multi-stop destinations because those are really big these days, especially out to Hawaii and Europe. We're going to talk about some other advanced types of bookings options as well, and also look at some filter options for you that are within Vax Vacation Access to make your life easier. But before we go ahead and even start with the booking process, I just want to bring up a new page that we have on our site called Are You Primed for Peak? I don't know if you guys have been interested and clicked on it, but when you click on it, what you're going to see is you're going to see a message from one of our executives on our
Hello to
team.
all of
So
our
this
trusted
is Jackie Marks. She's our executive vice president of sales, basically on the travel agent side of things. Um, we give different messages. We can be providing updates on how the call center's doing, hold times, accounting, whatever it may be. But what I want to focus on is a little bit further down. So right here, well, today we had our first webinar, but next Tuesday, the 28th and the 4th, we also have additional webinars, and we actually have some really cool enhancements coming up. So before in Vax Vacation Access, you weren't able to do a multi-origin reservation to where you have customers coming from separate cities and sharing the same room. We have that enhancement coming out, and that's hopefully by the end of the month. So we're giving updates on that. We have another enhancement coming up where you can add airfare to a land only reservation. So that's a new enhancement. You'll actually see that on your next webinar as well with Anthony and with groups, because that's already an enhancement with the group's dashboard. It's just a couple little tweaks in there that are going to be a little different. We also have some enhancements coming up where, yes, there is basic economy fares coming to Travel Impressions. You are going to be able to hide those though. There's going to be a filter that you can hide it or show it in your filters on your air screen, and I'll show you kind of where you would see it. Right now it's not live, but I'll point out where it is. Otherwise, if you want to hide those completely, you're going to be able to update those in your user preferences in Vax under member services. We also have subset of the actual traveling party for travel protection. So if you have 4 people on a reservation and only 3 of them want it, you're going to be able to do that as well. So we're really excited for these new enhancements that are coming out. You're going to be able to see kind of like a little video right here regarding multi-origin and adding airfare to hotel-only reservations. There's also some tips and tricks in here as well. So I just wanted to point that out. And when I send over today's webinar to you, I will go ahead and include that link as well, just because it's going to be great throughout peak season where we're going to be giving updates and everything like that. So let's get back into our main travel impressions page. So because you guys are all around the country mainly, there is a great opportunity for your agency to even earn extra money. And Clint, on your last webinar, talked about the exclusive nonstop vacation flight search, correct? Does anybody have any questions on that? No? Okay.
He did a great job.
He is fantastic. He used to be a grade school teacher, so he really sums everything up and gives you all the information for it. So I don't know if he touched base on the actual benefits of those exclusive nonstop flights. So a couple of those, just kind of going from the top, is the potential for additional commission is there. So you can earn up to your highest commission on your entire package. So your airfare, hotel, and features package compared to splitting that out. So let's say I know somebody's from Atlanta. Delta's huge out of Atlanta. So with a booking with flights with Delta, you have the opportunity to earn 5% airfare, your max commission on your international. So I believe that's going to be 16 on your land, and then 10% on features. So you're going to be able to earn a ton more money with those exclusive nonstop flights. Another benefit of them is low deposits. So most of the packages you have, whether it's the exclusive nonstop flights or scheduled airfare, if you purchase that Travel Protection Plus, you're going to get a low deposit. But without that travel protection, if you have customers, unfortunately, that don't select it, you're going to be able to get $125 per person deposit with those exclusive nonstop flights. And one thing I really want to touch base on is because I come from a service background where just previously I was a supervisor over our call center, our top accounts desk, and modifications are huge nowadays. Name changes, name corrections, whatever it may be. So with these exclusive nonstop flights, because us over at Apple Leisure Group, we purchase all these seats, we have the ability to make modifications to them a lot easier than it is with a scheduled air carrier. So if you have to do a complete name change on these flights, okay, if you have the travel protection, there's not going to be a fee. If you don't, it could be $25. Compared to, I'm going to use Delta again as the example, or American or United, you're not going to be able to do a complete name change. You're going to be at a loss of that entire ticket or that deposit if it's a bulk airfare. So the ease for your customers to make changes is out there as well. So those are some of the big benefits on the exclusive nonstop vacation flights. You may hear them as charters. I refer to them as charters. That's kind of what's been instilled into my head, but they're the same thing. So let's go ahead and talk about our booking engine right on the left-hand side of your main travel impressions page. You have
Okay, hang on just a second.
Yeah.
The name change thing that you just referred to, that's coming in the future, is that correct?
Nope,
or is
you
that
can do that
now with insurance?
That's now with the insurance. With
Okay.
the insurance on those exclusive nonstop flights, it's not a fee.
Great, thank you. Until final payment, correct?
Even you can do it up until a couple of days prior to departure.
Until the manifest. Okay, great.
And then, but yeah, with scheduled airfare, you're not going to be able to do those. So that is something that you're going to be able to do and help out the customers, because not everybody wants to lose out on money. It's going to make things a lot easier. And that's because we purchase all these seats. So basically, we can modify it however it is. So let's go ahead and talk about the booking engine right on the left-hand side. So you have your package types. We're going to focus on flight and hotel. But you have the options for flight and car, hotel only, flight only. You have Europe. You also have contracted groups over here, which we're not going to talk about. You're going to go over that on your actual next session with Anthony. He's our groups expert. So we're going to go ahead and just use Chicago as a departure city, just because it's one of the larger airports, and I know there's plenty of flight options there. We're going to select Cancun as a destination. If no one's been there, I recommend everybody gets an opportunity to go down there. It's my favorite destination to go, and it's also going to be the most popular. So if you get a chance to go down there,
and we currently have a FAM opportunity available for somebody. It's still out there if somebody wants to go. Sorry, just had to throw that in there.
I'll go. I need a vacation. I'll go. Let me know. So I love that destination. I'm actually sending about 40 friends down there for a 40th birthday party, and I'm going to go down as well in October. I just love it. The price point is great. The service is awesome. A bunch of the hotels actually have great food. Whatever it may be, just relaxing the beach. I love that destination. So I'm choosing Cancun just because of the fact you get all these different airport codes here. So we technically have 3 airport codes for Cancun specifically. We have CUN, which is Cancun and Riviera Maya. We're going to skip over Cozumel via Cancun. That's basically, you're going to have Cozumel hotels, but you're flying into Cancun. CU2 is Cancun hotels only, so only the hotels within that hotel zone. And then we have CU3, which is Riviera Maya hotels, so it's only going to be the Riviera Maya, Playa del Carmen, Tulum, Akumal, those areas. The reason why I'm mentioning this is if you select one of these properties or one of these airport codes, so let's say you select CU2 to do your booking. Let's say down the road your customers are looking to go to a hotel that's more in the Playa del Carmen area. you're not going to be able to pull up any of those hotels because you've automatically filtered out all those other properties except for the Cancun Hotel Zone area. So I always recommend using CUN as the general airport code, and then use your filters within inside the booking engine. You're going to be able to get up to 4 rooms and 8 passengers on a reservation. That does include children and infants. You may have a reservation where you can get more than 8 people. Very common is some of those housing options on Villas of Distinction. Well, that's kind of separate, but there's housing options in Orlando, for example, where it's a 4-bedroom house. You can fit more than 8 people in there. That doesn't mean we can't get them added. It's just on the initial booking, you can only get up to 8. So, very popular nowadays is passengers traveling with infants. I'm going to show you the easiest way to figure it out, but if you have any questions, you can click right here and it'll tell you how to book the infant. So an infant is anyone under the age of 2. And then you have 2 options for them. You can either have them as a lap child, or you can actually purchase a seat. So when you put in your child's age, so let's close out of here. So we have one child, let's say it's an infant. So we have one child going. If you go under IN, that stands for infant, that means you're going to purchase just the taxes. So that's going to be the lap child. If you actually select the age of 1, you're going to be purchasing a seat for that infant. So just keep that in mind if you do have customers that actually are looking to travel with an infant. Ask them if they want a seat or if they want them on their lap. All right, so let's get that down to 0. You have your departure dates. This is pretty self-explanatory. Let's just do the 25th for 7 nights. If you have a promotion code, this is where you would enter it, but you can actually enter it at the checkout page as well if you forget about it. And let's go ahead and add that Travel Protection Plus, and let's go ahead and hit search. So no matter the actual booking engine that you're on, it's pretty much the same because you're going to have to put in your origin and destination and everything like that. So all the bells and whistles are going to be really within your search. So let's wait for that to pull up. All right, it's thinking about it. Perfect. All right, so the first thing that's going to pull up on a basic reservation is going to be your hotel. And let's just wait for that to populate. So right here, we have 168 hotels that are populating right now. You have an option to sort your hotels by clicking the drop down by price point, high to low or low to high, alphabetically, closest or furthest from the airport, location, or by rating. If you want to see an actual hotel's profile, just click on the name of the hotel. I'm just going to use Dreams Tulum because it's the first one that populates. So right off the bat, you're going to get a bunch of pictures that pop up. It's on a timed loop, so it'll go through. But if you want to kind of scroll through, you can just kind of move your arrow down and click on whatever you want. It'll take you to that picture. Below are going to be all your current promotions. They might not all be valid for your specific booking, but here's all the valid promotions that are good for these booking dates. If you have any questions on what that may be, so if you're maybe interested in this $200 resort coupons, just click on it. It'll expand it and give you a little bit more information. It'll tell you valid booking dates, if there's any specific exceptions that are on there and everything like that. So just remember, you can look at the specific promotions. So if you scroll down a little bit more, you'll get your hotel details. It could be spring break policy. It could be your hotel policies when you expand that, such as check-in age, check-out age. Scroll down a little bit more, transportation, how far away from the airport it is. Property information, a lot of it will tell you when it was built or when it was last renovated and the number of rooms. You can go over to your amenities. It'll tell you the amenities that are included in the hotel, accommodations. So you'll be able to see the specific promotion codes that are running under your accommodations. You may, let's see if I can scroll down and see something real quick. There you go. So you may get specific bedding options. So this one's a deluxe garden king. So this one's bookable directly into a king room category. You're going to see options that are queen or double. If you just see something that says deluxe garden, you may get something that is 1 king or 2 double beds. So that's going to be based off of availability when they assign the rooms a few days prior. It'll give you occupancy limits and also maybe some child policies as well. You can go over the dining options. One thing I really like about a lot of the profiles is whatever the hotel gives us, we'll put in here. So you may get a little bit more detailed information in some of the profiles, such as hours they're open and also dress code. So it will tell you whether it's business casual, formal. It'll tell you that information. If it doesn't show it on the profile, 99% of the hotels have it available on their website of what the actual dress code is.
Okay, I have 2 quick questions if I can interrupt.
Yeah.
The first one is, some resorts are charging resort fees. Are those included in your package price, or where would we find out where they are?
Well, I will show you when we get to them, because...
Okay, and then my next question, and I'm good with that, and then my next question is, on this dining list, there's a certain property in Cancun, and I don't remember off the top of my head, but I've booked it before, where you're only allowed 2 of the restaurants that are sit down per night, and if you're there for like 5 nights, you know, and then the other 3 you'd have to go to the buffet. Do you know what?
Barcello.
Oh, what is it, Christy?
It's Barcello, or however you say that.
Barcello. Okay, Barcello. Okay, so my question is on the Barcello, is that specified under that restaurant comment section?
Well, we can take a look. I can use that as my example for kind of further down the road. Some of them are, yes. Some of them are not. I know which one is not. I don't think the Bahia properties are, but I know they have specific ones where you stay 5 nights, you only get maybe 2 dining options or whatever it may be. So I've seen it in there, and I also have not seen it in there. So these profiles are all the information that the hotels give us. So if they don't give us that information, we don't actually load it onto the profile. So,
okay, thank you. And Christy, if you're putting together a sheet for Cancun, have you already done that? Christy?
Yeah, I already did.
Can we make sure to add those notes for those properties that we already know of for those meals that I'm talking about? Because it bit me in the butt one time. Thank you.
Well, let's take a look here. I'm just going to alphabetize this real quick, see if Barcello has it on there.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't, because I had to look that up myself.
Yeah, let's take a look. This one does not. It actually doesn't give us really any information regarding it. So I always recommend go to the hotel's website for the best information if it's kind of vague in the profile. We do send out updates every month to hotels for updated information with the profile so we can load it in there. So hopefully that would be one of the things that they're going to be able to give to us. So it might actually be under your all-inclusive amenities though. So let's take a look here. All right, dress code. Let's scroll down here. Okay, so it doesn't have it in here. So it could also be in your all-inclusive area as well. So just keep in mind, take a look at the all-inclusive amenities. That might be something that's in there too. But it doesn't look like this specific Barcello actually provided us the information. So
no worries, I was just asking. Thanks for the help.
Yeah, not a problem. So we looked at the hotel profile. We clicked on it. Not great. Perfect. So let's see if I have a hotel up here that I just kind of can go through. We're going to we'll just use Barcello as the example. So let's do Barcello Maya Palace. If you see a plus sign next to the hotel name, that means you can expand the room categories if they have additional rooms available. So one thing I want to point out is right here we see where it says junior suite, and then we see the number 9 right next to it. So that means we have 9 or more room categories available for these dates. You also see this calendar right here. So maybe you have a family of 10 that need 4 reservations going, and you only see 3 rooms here. You can click on that calendar, and it'll be able to tell you when there will be full availability for those dates. If you see a room pulling but it's not available, give us a call. We will always reach out to the hotel to see if we can get it for you. The reason why I want to point that out is we have hotels that do not show the number of rooms or this calendar. So we source hotels a little bit differently. We have inventoried hotels at us at Apple Leisure Group, loading the rates, loading the inventory, and everything like that. These are the hotels that you're going to see this inventory and calendar. You're also going to see hotels that do not have that, which means the hotel manages their inventory and their rates. So if a room category is not available or the hotel sold out, you won't even see it pull in the system. Again, doesn't mean we can't request it. It never hurts to ask. So if you're looking for a hotel that possibly is not showing, give us a call. We'll reach out to the hotel if it's one that we know that we offer, and we can see if we can get that room for you. So next to your room category name, you're going to have these different colored boxes. This one only has a pink box. It says commission exception. So this is earned a maximum of 15% commission on your exclusive nonstop vacation flight packages.
Hey, I just have a quick question about adding properties. Sorry. Yeah. I think 2 of the properties that I get the most requests for in Cancun, or 3, I should say, are Finest, Playa Mujeres, the Palace Resort, and
don't say Hyatt.
Escaped me the third one. Hyatt Ziva, yeah, that was it.
Yeah, so they used to be offered. With the merger with Apple Leisure Group and, well, Mark Travel Corporation, there was a business decision that those are no longer being offered. They are direct competition as well to our own properties, which are AM Resorts. Okay. So those specific hotels we wouldn't be able to ask for because we no longer do business with them.
What about Finest? Is that the same thing? I don't know who they're
at. Finest is part of Grupo Excellence. So their adults only property is Excellence.
Yeah, that's right.
Fantastic properties too. I mean, I personally wish that we still offered them, but there was a business decision for it, and I mean, not much I can do. But yeah, we understand. We get those requests all the time. It doesn't mean that we might not get a relationship back with them down the road and offer them again.
And you have other suppliers to those, right, Christy? You're able to find them in other suppliers?
Oh, yeah.
I know you prefer TI, but I'm just making sure. Okay. Yeah. All right.
But
that's not, guys, that's not any different from any other supplier. All suppliers have agreements with certain hotels, and of course we love to give the feedback that we want the Hyatts and we want the Excellence Resorts and that kind of thing. But if you're, unfortunately, it's contractually bound. So if you find something you want and you're not finding it from TI, or, you can go, we've got a whole list of other suppliers. But of course, we like TI and we like the relationship we're building with TI. But obviously, if that's the right thing to do for your client, by all means. But we do love the feedback to give to TI because then hopefully we can influence that to get them back on.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, you're not the only ones to mention that. I mean, personally, I have a great relationship with Excellence as sales manager, and I wish we were able to offer them. Same thing with Hyatt. One of my good friends is one of the sales reps for Hyatt, and he's based out of Chicago. And again, I wish we would offer them because it's a great product. But business decision was made maybe about a year ago. Palace was just maybe recently in November that unfortunately we no longer offer them. But yeah, if there's another supplier that you want to offer it, go ahead. I mean, we can't really stop you for that. Obviously, we would want the business with Travel Impressions, but you got to do what's best for your customer.
Sure. And then the last question, for now, that I have is I noticed that Iberostar, and I probably said that wrong too, is our supplier of the month, which is fantastic, except for their website always has better pricing than what TI has, and we're not able to match it because it's called, if you give them your email address, essentially you're considered a member, and they can get a better pricing. I mean, any thought? I mean,
if you do
I know
not,
one of our team members just lost the sale because of it. I'm just curious as to the thought process behind having them as a supplier of the month when their pricing is better on their site.
Yeah, we have a bunch of different suppliers of the month, so it's going to rotate out. So within all of our ALG brands, Travel Impression Supplier of the Month is going to be different from Apple or FunJet or Southwest Vacations. A lot of times with those, you actually have to sign up for that. But if you just went onto Iberostar's website and priced it out, just their standard rates, we auto-match those against Hotel Directly.
But I think what she's saying is, and we lost a big, I'm just telling you, this happened this week with one of our agents, we lost a big sale. Because when you sign up for their little club, which literally is an email only with Iberostar, price went down by like $750. And we tried to get y'all to price match it, and of course you couldn't. But it's just something, and I get it, but at the same point, they're the supplier of the month, but literally when we go to their website, it's $750 less.
Yeah, and I mean, you're going to get a lot of hotels that offer special membership rates. And I mean, unfortunately, there's really not going to be not going to be much we can do with it. Iberostar is a preferred partner with us. So typically, those preferred partners typically don't have those issues, but we do see them where you're able to get AAA rates or senior discount rates that we cannot get because that's only specific to them. I mean, and we can always see if we can price match something that wouldn't be a problem, but it won't be something where we would auto match it. All right, so let's go ahead and continue. I just kind of want to point out, you're going to see a lot of different colored boxes here. So you may see a pink box like this one that says commission exception. You may see a blue one that, I've seen those recently, right down here. Instant OTA price match. So if you hover over it, it'll kind of tell you what it is. An OTA is something called an online travel agency such as Expedia, Orbitz, Priceline, Travelocity, you name it. If you see this blue box, that means we will auto match that competitor right away because a lot of times those companies will be able to get lower rates than we are able to get, but we have an agreement with those hotels that it's automatically matched. We're able to get our rates lowered, so in turn we're going to be able to offer it to your customers. One thing to keep in mind is because those instant OTAs such as Expedia and everything pay very little commission, so they may pay up to like 5%, your commission does get capped down to 10%. So you're still going to be making more money than booking it with Expedia, and you're still going to be able to get those numbers towards your travel impressions. One I really want to talk about is it's not up yet, but you may see like a red box or maybe a green box. And we have a promotion that's going to be brand new to Travel Impressions starting on Friday. It's going to be called Get Paid to Upgrade. So you're going to have specific properties where you're going to see these colored boxes and it'll say Get Paid to Upgrade. So what that is you're going to receive bonus commission when you book specific rooms at that property. So when you hover over it, unfortunately it's not live in the system, so I'm not going to be able to show you what it says. But essentially what it's going to tell you is click on an upgraded room category that has a different colored box. You're going to get an additional 2% commission on that land portion. So that'll be another way that you're going to be able to earn additional commission and make more money. But that's not there quite yet. We are going to probably have some webinars on that coming up, so keep an eye out on the education calendar. So let's go ahead and see if Barcelo Maya Rivera has any room categories for me to book. All right, so everything's sold out. Doesn't mean we can't get it, but there we go, right here. Let's go ahead and hit select. Oh, actually, before we do that, I forgot to go over one of my favorite things on that, so my apologies. I got thrown off for a second. Let's get back into our hotels. The filters on the left-hand side will make your life a lot easier, so let's wait for that to update real quick. I'm sorry, I kind of skipped over that. My apologies. So we have 168 hotels pulling. You are able to see on a map where all the hotels are in location to one another if you choose to, by clicking right here on where it says View Hotels on a map. If you have a specific hotel name you're looking for, you can type it in right here. So if you're looking for Barcelo, just start typing it in, and you can filter it right there. If you want to remove your filter, just highlight it, get out of it, hit Find again, and it will pull up all your hotels again. You have the sliding price scale right here. So if your customers give you a budget, you can filter it down to their specific budget. So let's say we're looking right around $5,000, so right there. It'll filter down hotels that are going to be outside of that price point. So we're down to 162, so it got rid of 6. You can filter by your star rating, hotel amenities. If they're looking for maybe an adults only property, you can select it right there. So you're going to be able to get rid of what your customers do not need. It'll make things a little bit simpler rather than just having all of your inventory pull and then maybe going alphabetically and scrolling down, making sure you don't forget your alphabet like I do every now and then, and select that option. So just make sure you use those filters. So we went ahead, we selected our hotel. What we'll do is, since I went out of order, it didn't auto-populate to my flights, it's going to go to your flights. It will automatically select those exclusive nonstop vacation flights first because we purchased those seats. We want to get rid of those seats first. So that's going to be the one that's going to typically select automatically for you. If you scroll down below, you're going to see other fare options. So you have this American flight right here. It's a 842. Not many people are going to want that. So you can use your filters, look for departure times. So let's click on 18. Morning flights. You can select non-stops. So then you can go by airline. So at the beginning of talking today with you guys, we talked about how basic economy is going to be coming. Right below your airlines, it'll tell you if you want to show your basic economy fares or hide it. So it'll just be a little radio button that you can click to show it or hide it. So that's probably going to be turned on probably by the end of the month. We're just working with the GDSs.
Do you know if it's going to default to basic economy, or we have to actually uncheck, where we have to uncheck it, or is it the opposite? Is it going to be the other way around, where we have to say no, include it if it's not already included?
It will pull automatically when you do shop by price. We're going to talk about shop by schedule a little bit later, but because basic economy is the least expensive, when you shop by price, it'll automatically show them. You have to physically click on the button to hide them. If you want,
okay.
if you want to
Pam,
remove
I put a
it,
note in our group about basic economy. I just want you to review it.
I don't say sell it.
It's important that your guest, if your guest is price shopping, that you realize that, and that's probably what they're getting if they're doing through Expedia or Orbitz or whatever. But I'm going to tell you, I would never book basic economy, especially for a family. And I wouldn't unless you really go through and explain it and make sure you cover your tail end with an email and they know what they're getting. Because then they're going to call you and they're going to say, why can't I get assigned seats on a plane? And they're going to blame you. Mm-hmm. So make sure that you have that in writing and that they agree to it before you deposit, please. Thank you.
And if you do select it, it will actually give you a little pop-up that says you're agreeing to the fare restrictions. So then you can back out and select something that's not basic economy. If you're looking to actually remove it altogether, at the top under member services, you're going to be able to go under your user preferences and permanently hide them. So just keep that in mind, and then from there on out, it's not going to pull them. So if we're going to look at possibly maybe a scheduled airline carrier, just kind of one thing I kind of want to show you, it will give you different options for your fares. So it looks like we have a bulk airfare available in just the main cabin, and then a bulk airfare available in business. So it'll give you those options. If there's a published fare option available, it'll tell you if there's a published. So it's going to break it down the least expensive options for both fare types and cabins. So you're going to be able to select it from there. Just for purposes, I'm going to use this Frontier flight on our exclusive nonstop. You're going to be able to tell that by, easiest way to tell is that red C. That means charter. That means the most money for you. So we're just going to go ahead and select that one. And now from here, we're going to be able to add whatever we want onto a reservation. After you select your return flight, apparently. I keep skipping ahead of things, so my apologies. So now we're at our itinerary summary screen. So here's just basically a basic summary of what you have currently. So from here, you're going to be able to add any features that you want or a rental car onto your package. So if we click features, you're going to be able to use your filters if you want to on the left-hand side. You're going to be able to change your transfer options if you choose to. So currently it has the shared transfers on here. Maybe your customers want a nonstop transfer or maybe a private transfer. What you can do is click on add to cart, and from there it's going to add it to your cart, and then you're going to go to checkout and you're going to be able to use that. So I like using the features tool to actually kind of explain it like you're going grocery shopping, where you're going down your aisle, you see something you want, you're going to put it in your cart. So let's say we want to put that private transfer on here. We're going to add to cart. All right, so we have that in our cart above, but we also have that standard shared transfers on here. I'm going to remove that, so just click on remove. So that will remove our shared transfer. So let's say currently they don't want any additional options as far as excursions or additional features maybe. So now from here, we're going to be able to collapse this. And now we're going to be able to go to our checkout page. But before we go to our checkout page, it's not everybody uses this, but it is something I like to point out. Throughout the booking process, you might see something that says pay monthly. If you click on it, it'll give you a little bit more information. So we have a third-party provider called Uplift that we use that your clients are able to pay 12 monthly payments on. You're able to do it up until 7 days prior to departure. It'll pay the reservation off in full. So you don't have to worry about getting payment from the customers or getting that deposit. It's going to pay it in full. The documents are going to issue. The customers are good to go with their package. If they make any changes and the package increases, you'll have to take additional payment from them on a different credit card. If they make a change and it goes down in price, that refund goes to Uplift. Uplift will deduct it from their payments. The reason why I'm mentioning this is it does have some benefits to use Uplift. So one of the benefits is you can use it up until 7 days prior to departure and then have those 12 months to pay it off. Without it, the reservation has to be paid in full at 45 days prior to departure. So if you have a last-minute wedding that somebody decided to go to Vegas and get married and you don't have those additional funds on your card, you're not going to be able to go. But with Uplift, you're going to be able to. And how it works is it's just a soft credit check. So you can actually go in here and through the actual processes to send to your customers. It's a soft credit check. It'll give them a fee based off their soft credit score. A couple other benefits of the actual Uplift payments are you're going to see an average increase of roughly about 13% upsell in the components that you're booking. because they have those 12 months to pay it off, they're going to be more likely to upgrade from that junior suite to maybe an oceanfront room category, or add that additional excursion on there, which means more money for you. So we do see an average of about 13% upsell of the components. And another thing with Uplift is, since the reservation is paid off in full, once you actually make the reservation and go through the application process, let's say your customers default the payment, you don't have to worry about it. That's between them and Uplift. You do not have to get involved. So for all intents and purposes, reservations paid, you're set, you'll get your commission as normal. It's just the clients have those additional options to pay those monthly charges. It's something I always like to recommend. Put it in your back pocket because you never know what happens. My example was, you got some friends that want to get married within the next couple of weeks. Not many people plan for unexpected weddings or whatever it may be, going out of state or whatever, going out of the country. So it's something nice to have in your back pocket to offer to customers and get more sales. So that's why you'll see the pay monthly options all around your booking process. You have your price stamp on your right-hand side. It's pretty self-explanatory. It gives you your days prior to departure, your base package price, the adult base price, depending on how many adults on here, any options. So options are going to be additional features such as excursions or transfers. It'll break down your travel protection if you have it on here, and if there's a promotion code on there, it'll tell you right here. So this one's taken up $98.17 since it actually autofilled. Gives you your total package price and your per person rate. You have your Uplift here again. If you're interested in included taxes and fees, you can click right here. Terms and conditions, you can click on here. One I really like to point out is where it says additional baggage charges. It'll take you to this page, but then if you click on where it says additional baggage charges, it'll take you to a different screen. And from here, what it will tell you is it'll alphabetize all your airlines. Let me expand that a little bit more so you can see it alphabetically, and it'll have a link to their baggage policy. So you can click on that link. It takes you right to their bag policies. You don't have to go onto the airline's website and fumble through on their page where to find it. It's going to save you a ton of time. Online check-in links, you can just copy and paste it to your customers if you choose to. If there's one in here, it'll be right here. It'll take you directly to the airline's check-in page. So that's another thing I kind of wanted to point out. Save you some time. You have your email print itinerary right here. It's pretty standard. I'm not going to go too much into it. It's going to tell you where you're sending it to. You can add other recipients if you want to. This right here, you can actually type in whatever you want. It'll tell you basically what you have on the reservation. It's not going to give you any options to select it though. So the customers aren't going to be able to pull up the hotel profile from this email, or their feature, or what the benefits of that travel protection are. I believe Clint went over with you the sales email. He normally does. Did he not?
He did. Yes, he did. He went over the sales email with us. He absolutely did.
Okay, awesome. It's a great tool for you guys to send to your customers. Would you like me to go over it again with you?
Yes, please.
All right. I can do that. It's one of my favorite tools within the booking process. So a sales email will allow you to have up to 6 hotels or room categories on one email, up to 3 rental cars, and up to 6 features. The nice thing about it is you're going to be able to select your hotel and pull up the profile like you do on your side in VAX. Customers are going to be able to see the profiles. So it's pretty simple to use. All you're going to do is hit create sales email, and it'll automatically go to where it says preview sales email, but we haven't done anything yet. So now we have to add the components to the reservation that we want to add. So from here, we're going to go to hotels. Let's wait for that to expand. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select 4 different hotels. So let's just go down here. I'm going to find my Barcelos again and just kind of go through it. Wait for that to update. All right, so we have Barcelo Maya Beach. I'm going to add that to my sales email. Right below your select button is going to be where you see it says add to sales email. I'm going to give them the Colonial Tropical, add to sales email. Let's do Barcelo Maya Palace, add to sales email. So you can get up to 6 hotels or 6 room categories. So maybe it's just 1 hotel, but you want to give them 6 hotel options, 6 room category options. You can get that all there. So let's go ahead and collapse our hotels. And now we're going to go to our features. From here, you're going to add what you want to the sales email for your customers in this option. So if you want to put that Travel Protection Plus, you can. But because we pre-selected it, you don't have to. Because it was pre-selected in the cart, you're actually not going to have to add it to your sales email. You can if you choose to. So I'm going to put my private transfer on here. I am going to go to my flight options. Anytime you see flight options on here, click on it, especially with those exclusive nonstop flights, because you're going to be able to pre-purchase maybe some seats if it's an opportunity with some specific carriers or bags. So in this case, it'll allow me to pre-select my bags. The nice thing is it will save the customer some money. So I go out of Chicago all the time on this flight for work and for vacation. It's $60 round trip if I pre-purchase it, or it's $100 if I do it with Frontier directly. So it's going to save the customer some money. So I'm going to add that to my sales email. See what water activities we have. Dolphin encounter at Maroma. I'm going to add that to my sales email. The reason why is I've actually done that before, and it was a great experience, even though I'm afraid of water with big fish in them. It was a really cool experience for me. I still remember like it was yesterday, even though it was like 10 years ago. It's just really cool. Dolphins are extremely friendly, so I recommend that for anybody, especially if they have not small kids, but 10, 11, 12 years old. It's going to be a great experience for them. Even adults, they all love it too. So if you guys go down there, whoever gets that FAM opportunity, I recommend it. So we added that to our sales email. So now from here, we added the components that we want. Now we're going to preview our sales email. All right, so you're going to be able to get up to 10 recipients on here. I always recommend sending one to yourself as well. Just because if the customer says, well, I never got anything, well, I sent it to me too, here you go. You have the option again to put whatever you want in right here. Below will give you your flight information, so however many passengers. Under your hotels, it'll tell you your dates. And then below, it will sort your hotels by price point. So this pricing right here on the right-hand side is going to be your base Aran hotel. If you have a hotel-only reservation, that'll be just your hotel-only cost. Any additional features will be additional cost, and it kind of tells you below. We'll go through it. So when you send this to your customers, they're going to be able to click on the hotel name and see that profile. They're going to be able to click on that Travel Protection Plus and see that profile. Or if you scroll below, they can click on the private transportation or the dolphin encounter. So they're going to be able to see all those profiles and see if that's something that they would like.
This is my favorite feature on Travel Impressions.
It's one of my favorite too. And we haven't even...
It's a lifesaver. It makes it so easy.
It does. And if you have customers that are just interested, hey, what types of excursions do you offer? You can create a sales email just for excursions and send that to them. Okay, here's my top 6 offers that I think you should do. So you can basically use this for anything. My favorite feature about this is when I scroll up and click right here where it says show prices, it removes that check mark. It removes the pricings. The reason why I love this is you're going to be able to sell a customer on an experience, on their memories, not on a price point. We all know how important those experiences are, and too many people focus on the actual cost.
Well, I missed that little checkbox. I'm going to have to use that from now on.
I think it's great because they're going to take a look at the sales email and say, what's the best option for me? It takes the cost out of the equation. They already gave you their budget, so you're staying within their budget. Now, what's the best option for me within that budget? Because we've all had those customers that have seen a hotel that may be $200 less for those 7 nights, but that experience is not going to be nearly as good as what they're going to have if they took that additional $200 and put it towards that upgraded hotel. That's my favorite thing about the sales email, is selling that customer on that experience and not that price point. Because that $200, they're going to be able to make up. That experience, they might not be able to. You can always make more money, hopefully. So it's the way I look at it. That's my favorite feature for the sales email. So make sure you guys are using that. And what I can do is I'll include that link as well when I send that over. So in case you forget how to use it, you don't have to rummage through the education pages and everything to find it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
For people that don't sell a lot of all-inclusives, Mexico can be very, I can't think of the word I'm trying to use, but daunting, I guess.
Yeah,
because there are
overwhelming.
so many properties when you, yes, thank you. Besides just obviously going by star rating or anything like that, is there a list that Travel Impressions likes to use that is who they believe are preferred vendors? I know you already said VeraStar is one of your preferred vendors, but do you have anything like that or something personal that you would be able to allowed to share with us as an agency?
We don't have anything specific that will actually be able to list our preferred partners. You can always sort by your preferred hotels, but I mean, from my personal experience, AM Resorts is a good option. The customers are going to get a good bang for their buck on there. Charisma. So Charismas are going to be Eldorado properties, which are adults only, or Azul properties, which allow kids.
Yeah.
Hands down, the best all-inclusive food you'll ever have. If you have people that like food. They have their own group.
I agree. I've stayed there before.
And that's where
very good.
That's where my friends are going for their 40th. We're going back to Eldorado Royale.
We did Generations right next door.
Yep. They're beautiful. They have their own greenhouse. Everything's fresh. It's fantastic. And the service is amazing as well. So that's always one I recommend. Iberostar, great properties. Reuse are decent properties as well. They're not gonna be as upscale as it is for maybe some of the AM properties like Secrets or Breathless or Dreams. But they're a very solid hotel. They're very popular among groups. They give good groups amenities. You're gonna get good service at Reuse. They're a great property to book your customers to. I mean, there's tons of them. I've never stayed at a Barcelo, but I know a travel agent down in Texas. He swears by them. There is Royalton. Royalton's a great property. Hard Rock. Hard Rock's a preferred partner. I mean, there's a lot of choices. In Jamaica, couples, if you have couples only, that's a good one. Then they have the Reuse out there. They have Iberostars out there. I mean, there's just a bunch.
Thank you. That helps. I know that there's some of us that don't sell a lot of all-inclusive. Sorry, my dog.
Hey, that's okay. I have a dog too. I know how it works.
That really did help.
But I mean,
yeah, thank you.
Those are the places I've stayed. And I mean, I've toured a ton of different places too, but I actually like to take my experience and give out what I've experienced at different properties. So for me, my top two are going to be Secrets and Charisma. Those are my top two that I've had the best experience at. I stayed at Iberostar. Took one of my friends down there for her. She graduated college. We went down there. We had a great time down at Iberostar. Barcelo, got some friends. Anthony, you can ask Anthony about his experience. He went to the one in Dominican Republic with his family. So he'd be a good one to ask about Barcelo. I mean, just so many different options out there. And there's a lot of TripAdvisor reviews too. I mean, just gotta be careful with those. But yeah, hands down for me, Charisma and AM Resorts.
I have a question. Last time we had our training, they brought up the WAVE program, and we got emails on it, and you registered for it and all that stuff. How do you actually earn your points and stuff like that through it? Because I've booked several things since registering, and I don't see anything in the program when I go to log into my account.
So was there actually payment on the reservation?
Yep, paid in full, everything.
So at the top right, well, actually within your dashboard, you'll see 6 different options. You should see something that has pending points, because those pending points go to basically your bank once payments on that reservation. Or at the top right hand side, you'll be able to see something where it says like view my points as well. So you should see something in there.
I don't. So do you have a contact that we can email? I did email the customer service link on there, but I haven't heard back, and that was a couple days ago.
Send me the information. I mean, obviously, don't send me your like password and everything like that. Just send me your Vax username, and I sit by Laura, who's part of that team. I'll go over and I'll talk to her tomorrow and see what's going on.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, not a problem. But yeah, so any booking, you get WAVE points. All right, so here we have our booking administration, where you can add an agency fee if that is something that your agency will allow. One thing, keep in mind, anytime you add an agency fee, it does take a 10% processing fee. So if you add $100, the actual net amount that you'll get in commission would be $90. And to add an agency fee, all you're going to do is type in the amount, hit set commission. It'll up your gross that amount, and then your commission will go up that amount less that processing fee. To remove it, just remove it, put 0.00, hit set commission again. It'll take it back down. So now we're going to talk about kind of my 2 favorite things within Vax and the main booking process. We get a lot of times where your customers are going to be like, okay, well, what happens if I go a week earlier or a week later? Okay, not a problem. So you're going to go back to your search page. So let's go back to our search page. Let's put in our new dates. So let's do the week later. Let's do the 7 nights. Let's go ahead and hit search. I'm not going to select all the components, but I'm just going to kind of show you the tool that I love to use. So let's wait for all that to pull up. So this is probably one of my favorites. And then the next one we go over is probably 1A or 1B. I haven't decided yet which one I like better. All right, so we have our hotels. You select your hotel, you select your airfare, your features, and everything like that. Well, you notice below your checkout page in your booking administration for your agency fee or your service fee, you're going to see where it says recent searches. So you can have up to 20 different searches on here. It all depends on how many times you did a search. So for our example, we had the customers that went on the 25th. They wanted to price it out the week later. So under our recent searches, you're going to see this compare button. You're going to be able to compare up to 3 of your searches by just clicking on compare which searches you want. You can get up to 3. And then if you hit the compare 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 3, it's going to put it side by side next to each other. So it's a little easier sending this to your customers. Right now you can't send an email from here. We are working on that. I know that is something that we've had feedback on. We are working on an email button from this page. But you can just take a screenshot of it, send it to your customers. It's easier than going back and forth between separate emails or you copying and pasting the information to one email. It'll give you your package type, your city, dates, guests, your hotel, room type, departure date, everything. If you want to compare your commission on there, click View Administrative Information. It'll tell you your commission. If you want to hide it, click on Hide. I love this option because it's going to save you time. So that is comparing your itinerary. You have the option to save an itinerary by clicking on Save. And then to retrieve a saved itinerary, all you would do is go back up to Retrieve Saved Itinerary. So, because when you click on it, I think I clicked on it. There we go. You're going to be able to save it under something specific that you want. And then save it. The one thing to keep in mind, a saved itinerary does not save your pricing. It does not save your availability. So it's just saving what you're looking on your screen at this moment. If you retrieve your saved itinerary and something's not available or rate changes, it'll tell you in big red letters saying components not available or your pricing changed. So that'll save you a little bit of time as well, instead of going ahead and recreating everything. The next one I want to talk about is this duplicate itinerary. This is probably going to be your biggest time saver. So you click on your duplicate, it takes you back to your search page. A great opportunity for this is, let's say they want to price out adding a child to the reservation or maybe adding another person into the room, maybe another adult. So let's say you're going to select 3 adults. It automatically has your departure city, your destination, your dates, and everything like that. So when you hit search, what's going to happen is it's going to pre-select everything that you previously had. You don't have to go into your hotels and find your hotel and room category again. You don't have to go back into your flights and filter through there and find your flights that you had. You don't have to go to your features and re-add your features. It does all that for you. It'll save you a ton of time. If something is not available when you do the duplicate itinerary, it'll tell you it's not available. So that is another thing that I really like because it'll save you time. Time is money, especially when you have customers maybe waiting for that quote, maybe waiting for that booking. So great option for you guys to use. So we went over all that. So now let's go ahead and look at our checkout page. Let's go to our checkout page. And I apologize. At night, my computer's a little slow, so I'm going to apologize for that. So we're at a checkout page. You're going to be able to scroll down. You can select additional room categories if you choose to by clicking on the button. So you're going to scroll down. You have hotel advisories right down here. So this is going to be where you see any resort fees, any parking fees, valet fees, whatever it may be, it'll tell you right in your hotel advisories. And this does print on the documents for the customers as well, so they're going to be able to see that. Because I know there was a question for that a little bit earlier. You have to select a travel protection option. In order to make a reservation, we selected the Travel Protection Plus. All right, so you can go ahead, add your first name, last name, however any name appears on your ID. A couple things I want to touch base on during the booking process is adding frequent flyer information if they have it. Always ask at time of booking. The reason why I'm saying that, because currently at the moment, once you make a reservation, you will not be able to add it within Bax, your frequent flyer information. You'll have to go to the airline's website to add it. The reason being is because most of these flights go through a specific GDS system, and once it's booked, it'll send it to the GDS, but the GDS will not send it over to the airline. So I always say good habit to get into is ask for the frequent flyer information at time of booking. It's not a big deal if they don't have it. You can always go to the airline's website and add it after the fact. We are working on a way to actually get that to where after you make the reservation, you can still add it and it'll go through. It's a process that we're working with the GDS right now, the GDS system. TSA information, you don't need to actually make a reservation. If you want to remove a promotion code, it's right here, or add a promotion code, it'll give you a box where you can add it if you forgot to. One thing I really want to focus on right here is special service requests. Special service requests, again, I recommend doing at time of booking because of especially with the hotels, and a lot of hotels being on a direct link. Once it's made, it won't go over. So adding it at time of booking is the only time those special service requests will come over. If your customers are celebrating some special occasion, I'm sure they're going to tell you before they're even pricing it out. So you're gonna be able to put in your special occasion requests like birthday or honeymoon, and put it in here. So VIP customer, whatever you choose. Let's say you have two reservations that are traveling together, and maybe they want rooms close to each other. Maybe this reservation, I want room next to Bob Smith. That's how you're going to be able to cross-reference the reservation. So when it goes over to the hotel knows, okay, this reservation wants to be by Bob Smith. We're going to see if we can accommodate that when the rooms are assigned. Flight requests, you're going to have your flight requests here. Add-on requests, if you have any add-on requests. So probably the number one add-on request is going to be for cross-referencing transfers when you have a private transfer. That's because on those private transfers, as long as the customers are traveling the same dates, same flights, staying at the same hotel, they can use them together. And all you would have to do to cross-reference those reservations is just put reservation and then the number, so XYZ, traveling with this reservation to use transfers. That'll go over to the ground handler. They'll know on that manifest, hey, this reservation is using the transfer. We're going to put them all on the same transfer. You have your payment information down here. I like to split it up into two separate things because sometimes people do get a little confused. You have your deposit due date and your full payment due date. So your deposit due date will give you your deposit date and then the amount. Then your final payment due date will be the final payment date and the total reservation cost. These do not change unless you make a change to a reservation after it's been created. So the reason why I'm mentioning that is because let's say your customers pay that deposit, it'll show right here. Your deposit here won't say 0. So these never change. As long as your deposit and your total amounts of payment meets or exceeds your deposit due, you're fine. Balance due, pretty self-explanatory. It's going to take your reservation cost, less what you paid, that's your balance. All right, so now we're going to go under the payment information here. I am not going to touch too touch base on this too much. But one thing I think is a great opportunity for you guys to use to actually make additional money is, how many people do you guys that come up to you and say, I have a Southwest Airlines air credit?
Or miles, or yes, a lot of them, yes.
So, because Apple Leisure Group has 6 different brands, I'm mentioning this, it's not travel impressions related, but if your customers have airline credits with Southwest, you can use them on Southwest vacations. It's going to be the only brand that you're going to be able to use those on. You'll be able to use the drop down under your card type. It'll say travel funds. Then it'll ask for the PNR. You hit verify. It'll tell you the cost of the credit that they have, and then you just pay the additional deposit. The reason why I'm mentioning that is it's a great way for you guys to get additional bookings, get higher total bookings, because otherwise they take that air credit to the airline. You can do the land portion, but this way you can get that entire package. So I do like to mention that for my trainings. Below we have our final payment options. One that does not pull up is the automated final payment. Because we don't have credit card information, it doesn't have anything to pull it from, but you do have an automated final payment option. You select a date, and it will charge the card on file for that final payment. If you pay it off early, it's not going to charge the card. You have a schedule and email reminder. You can click right there, select your date that you want, and the email address you want that reminder to go to. This is automated. So if you pay it off early, it will still send that email reminder. You can just disregard it. Or you can manually add it. Now from here you have your terms and conditions, and we would just complete our booking. So that is the basic booking process. It's kind of a lot of information in there. Is everybody okay with the basic booking process before we kind of get into more of the advanced booking techniques?
I think we're all good. I think we're good there.
Okay, perfect. So let me go. I'm going to kind of squeeze something in between the booking processes and talk about retrieving reservations. So you have your retrieve reservation option here. You can always search by your reservation number. If you don't have it, you can filter things here. The one thing I want to mention is I do have a reservation that I'm going to pull up. And a couple things I want to show you. So we're going to retrieve our reservations. One of my bosses made this today. Don't know what it is, but alright, it's land only, great. These options right up here. These are one I want to go over. A refund request, that's submitting a refund request to accounting. Once they receive that, they'll process your refund. It's pretty simple. Click on the link. Fill the information out. And this will go to accounting. You will be able to see if that was received in the comment history. The comment history is going to be under your itinerary tools, under history. You'll be able to see, it would say, well, this one just says contracted group because this is a group's reservation, but it will say refund request received or confirmed. So if you forget that you did one or not, check on the history of the reservation. Price match will give you the price match information on what's needed and where to send to it. The one I like is this payment link. It says payment request. What this does is it'll email, well, you can send it to yourself or to your customers, a payment link that they can actually click on the link, apply payment on their own on that reservation. It's a great opportunity. Late Friday night, payment's not due until Monday. Your customers want to pay it over the weekend, but you're not going to be in over the weekend. You can send them this payment link. They can click on it, and pay for the reservation. It's good for 24 hours. So once you send that link, it's good for 24 hours. After that, just keep resending the link. So I think it's a great opportunity late at nights, on the weekends. Your customers are going to be able to do it themselves. A lot of people nowadays don't like giving their personal information out, so that is an opportunity for them to do it themselves. So that's what I wanted to get over, to kind of go over on an actual existing reservation. So let's go back to our Travel Impressions main page. Now we're going to focus below under our Advanced Search and Multiple Destinations. So we're going to click on Advanced Search. Have any of you guys had customers that say, I want airfare for 10 nights, but I only need a hotel for 5? Anybody have that yet?
Oh, yeah, I have.
Perfect. I'm going to show you how to do that real quick within VAX. You're going to go to your Advanced Search page, like we clicked on right below your search button. You're going to put in your origin and destination, so let's say Cancun. And this screen is going to be the same thing. You can get your multiple rooms on here. You have your promotion code, add infant, travel protection, and so forth. It's just you have additional options down here that you can filter by. So we have our options to filter by airline, cabin preference, number of stops. I want to touch base on where it says shop by schedule. I'm going to actually show you what the shop by schedule option looks like. So a shop by schedule is different than shop by price, which is your normal default. The reason why is a shop by price matches up class as a service, and it only gives you so many options as far as price point. You may see a flight that is specifically on an airline's website, but you don't see it in VAX. If you click the shop by schedule, you're going to be able to pull more inventory. This is also where you would select a specific class of service. So if you're doing a price match, you're going to be able to select a class of service because those need a match. Or maybe you have customers that have mileage plus points and they want to use those mileage plus points to upgrade from their normal coach seat to their comfort plus. Well, you have to book in a specific class of service to do that. This would be where you would do that, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. It's a little bit different. You have your hotel filtering options here. If you're looking for a specific hotel right here, you can enter the name. I do not recommend using this though, because if you put in a specific hotel name and it's not available, you're not even going to get to your next screen that pulls up all the availability because the system's just looking for that hotel. So I recommend leaving that blank. Now let's say the customers only need a partial hotel stay. So we did 7 nights. Oh, I didn't put that in there. So let's select our dates. We got our 7 nights. You're going to have your calendar here. Now you can just offset your hotel dates. So if they wanted to only go until March 31st, click on the calendar. Now we're going to go ahead and hit search. And I'm just going to show you how it looks. We're not actually going to go through the complete booking process, but I just want to show you what the shop by schedule looks, because it's a little bit different. All right, let's go computer. There we go. All right, so you see it looks a little bit different. Gives you both your outbound and return right side by side. So here you have the options to kind of sort your carrier flights and everything by. If you click on carrier name and you see that arrow pointing up, it's alphabetically A to Z. If you click it again, it'll be Z to A. If you click on departs, it'll be earliest departure. If you click on it again, it'll be latest departure. Same thing with arrives. Earliest arrival to latest arrival. If you click on stops layover, it'll be least amount of stops to most. All right, so you did your sorting and however you wanted to do it. So I'm going to use this American flight as my example. you have your best price option right here, or you click on View Class. And so this will mean the airline loads in the 7 classes of service for each of the classes. So how it reads will be left to right, top to bottom, like a book. Most expensive will be top left, least expensive will be bottom right. And if you're looking for a specific class of service, just click on what you're looking for. So let's say V as in Victor. Click on V as in Victor. Now you're going to do the same thing for your return. Let's do this 242. I'm going to click on View Class. All right, so top to bottom, left to right. That return flight, there are no seats there, so we have to choose a different flight. All right, so let's go down and do, I'm going to do this 1247. All right, so we're going to select our class as a service. So I'm just going to match up V as in Victor. All right, so Cancun back to Dallas-Fort Worth, V as in Victor. Dallas back to O'Hare, V as in Victor. And now from here, you're going to price your flights. If there is a bulk option available, it will pull up on the screen. If there is no bulk option available, it'll go straight to your itinerary summary screen. So in this case, there is a bulk option. It is more expensive, but it will give you an option for a bulk. So in this case, most likely you're going to select to publish because of the price is less expensive for that package. And now from here, you're going to go ahead, select your hotel, and add any features or anything on there. So that is Shop by Schedule and a couple of the reasons why you would use Shop by Schedule. Is everybody okay with that?
Doing good over here. How's everybody doing? Is everybody still alive? Because we're at about an hour and a half, and I know I only told them this would take about an hour and a half. So I just want to see anybody still there. I think we're still here, but I know we're probably getting to where the end is cutting off. So if you need to drop off, you can because you have family things to go. I'm going to let him continue on, so you can always go back and pick up the video on our link if you want. But I know that a few of you are needing to hop off because I told you it'd be an hour and a half. If you have any questions before you go that are real urgent, go ahead and pop on there and ask them, and I'm going to let him finish up what he needs to finish up.
Yeah, and I have about 15 minutes left, roughly.
Okay, not bad. Everybody still okay? I mean, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask if you have to leave. Otherwise, we'll just let him finish up. Okay, go ahead. Thanks.
Cool. All right, so now we're going to talk about the multiple destination tool. And because we're kind of on a time restraint, I'm not going to actually go into the actual search page and go through the inventory. I'm going to show you how to book it, and the easiest way is to book these. On your main travel impressions page, under your search button, you're going to have multiple destinations. You're going to have really about 3 things in here that you're going to use it for. Obviously, a multiple destination reservation, pre and post cruise booking. So cruises are very popular. You're going to be, and a lot of times customers want a pre-night hotel stay and a post-night hotel stay. Well, you can put it all together in a package with their airfare, offer them the additional benefit of that travel protection, because we all know cruises do not always go, and get the commission on it, get those numbers on it. And then also the last one's going to be an open jaw reservation, where it's going to be leave from one city, take your vacation back to a different city. So we are in our multiple destination tool, and let's go ahead, and I'm just going to use Hawaii as an example. And let's say they're leaving from Los Angeles. You're going to select your dates. There we go. And then you're going to put in destination 1. So let's say they're going to Honolulu first. Let's say you don't know Honolulu's airport code. If you start typing out Hawaii, it'll have them all here for you, and now you can select which one you need. Select the number of nights. So let's say they're staying 3 nights in Honolulu. And because we selected air and hotel package, it does not allow me to remove that long haul flight. So from the continental US to Hawaii. You do have an option to where you can do hotel only with optional inter-island air, where you do not need that over-the-water flight. And now from here, in Honolulu, what components do we need? A hotel, yes or no? I'm going to keep it selected for yes, so check mark means yes. Do I need a rental car, yes or no? I'm going to remove the rental car just because my experience out in Honolulu, lots of cabs, lots of Ubers, parking fees at the hotels are expensive. You have your additional hotel options right here if you choose to. Now, here's where things can get a little bit intimidating. Because you can get 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different destinations on here, I'm going to kind of tell you the easiest way to look at it so you don't have to look at it as a whole and be like, okay, I got 7 destinations. What do I all need? So for my example, we're just going to go over to Hawaii for a second destination. Or Maui. Maui is OGG. Type that in there. Let's say they're doing 5 nights out there. Alright, so it doesn't matter how many different destinations you get on your multiple destination tool. If you look at it this way, it's going to break things down a lot easier. So we're in Honolulu. We need to get to Maui. How are we going to get there? Do I need a flight, yes or no? If yes, keep it selected. If no, deselect it.
Well, we probably do, or else we're going to swim.
Exactly, unless they're extremely rich and have one of those hovercrafts.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So we got our flight portion from destination 1 to 2. Now, when we're in that second destination, what do we need? Do we need a hotel? Yes or no? Maybe they have family in there. You don't need it. Deselect it. Rental car? Yes or no? So if you look at things like point to point, I'm going from point A to point B. How do I have to get there? All right, so you figured that out. Now you're in destination 2 or point B. What do I need? Then you can go on from 3 to 4 to 5 to however many. That's going to be the easiest way to actually look at it. Because I know when I first started, we were doing 6, 7 different destinations for our examples. If I didn't look at it that way, I was overwhelmed, be like, okay, I don't know what I need. So if you just look at it that way, it makes things a little bit easier. You have the option to add additional destination before or after by just clicking right here. Because we're in the multiple destination tool, you do have the option to change your return city. This is what we call an open job. So maybe they want to go back to Houston or Dallas. We're going to do Dallas. So let's do DFW.
Let's do Dallas.
So there we go. That's pretty simple on changing that return city. So I'm going to show you probably in about 5 minutes on how to do it when you only need one destination. So now from here, you would hit search. And so I'm going to hit search for this one, just to kind of show you what the multiple destination looks like. The others we don't really need to kind of hit search on because it's all basically looking the same. And one thing to keep in mind with the multiple destination tool and the advanced search page, because you're pulling a lot more components, it does take a little bit longer for that search to actually populate. It does that with all the brands, so don't think that if you go to Apple, it's going to be a little bit quicker on that multiple destination. And one thing I do want to point out is within all of our vacation brands, the booking process is the same. So just keep that in mind. All right, so we have our options that pull. The flow will be a lot different in a multiple destination. I think it's a lot easier because you're going to pick your flights first and then your hotels. So just from here, I'm going to start selecting flights. I don't really care on the times, but you can use your filters. So I'm going to select this American Airlines flight, so it's going to have you select your LA flight to Honolulu first. So we select that, and now we're going to select, well, once it pulls, we're going to select our flight from Honolulu to Maui. So the Southwest flight looks great. I'm going to select it. And now it's going to ask me to select my return flight. All right. I don't like double connecting flights, but that works fine. One thing to keep in mind, if you see it in red, that means it's a next day arrival. So just keep that in mind. So just for purposes, I'm going to hit select. And I just kind of want to show you what the reservation would look like. We're not going to actually go in there and actually select the hotel components and everything. So you have your flights up here. If you forget to remove one of your inner island or maybe inner country, maybe if it's a Europe reservation, you can remove right here. You're going to have destination 1. You're going to go into your hotels and your features, select what you want. Destination 2, same thing. You're going to select your hotels and features that you want. And then proceed through checkout and make your reservation as you would normally. So it doesn't look a ton different than a basic reservation once you get in here, because you're still going to have to select your components and everything. So that's multi-stop. Are you guys okay with that? It's not overly difficult, but that is probably the most intimidating booking option we have. All right. I don't hear any snoring, so I think we're good. All right, so let's talk about...
We're good. We're still here.
Let's talk about...
My husband just walked in, so I had to mute to say hello.
Hello, husband. So let's talk about pre- and post-cruise reservations. You're still going to be in the multiple destination option. So pre- and post-cruise is basically a pre-hotel stay. They're on their cruise, post-hotel stay. So when you think about it, how many different destinations do you think we need on there? Pre-hotel stay. Destination 2 is the cruise. Do we need a third destination? Whoever's saying yes is correct. So I'm going to use 3 destinations. I'm going to add an additional destination. And this is actually going to be pretty simple. So let's get that additional destination. And I'm just going to use Hawaii again as my example. All right, computer, wake up. There we go. So you're going to put your departure city, your dates, and everything like that. I'm going to use Honolulu because I know they have a cruise port there, and there's transfers that are available in the system to book them from their Waikiki hotel over to the pier or harbor, or whatever you want to call it. So you're going to put in your destination that they want for the pre-night stay, and then select the number of nights. Could be 1 night, 2 nights, 3 nights, doesn't really matter. Just for purposes, I'm going to use 1 night. So because we have airfare from the continental US, air is going to be selected, then hotel because I want that 1 night hotel stay. Destination 2 is going to be their cruise. So it doesn't matter if I put in Honolulu again, or if I put in Maui or Kauai, it doesn't matter. But just for purposes, I'm going to keep Maui in there. Just because it seems like my computer's a little bit slow right now, and it's just going to take a little bit longer to filter all that through. The number of nights will be the nights that they're on their cruise. So they're doing a Hawaiian cruise for 10 nights. We have 10 nights in here. And now from here, do I need a flight? No, because they're going to be they're getting on the cruise. Do they need a hotel? No, because they have the room on the ship. Rental car? Unless they got a really cool racetrack on the water, you're not going to need one of those. So you're just going to remove all those components for their cruise portion. And now, if they choose, they have a post-cruise option. We added that additional destination. And now you're just going to select that destination they want for the post-cruise. So let's say they're just doing Honolulu again. Put in Honolulu. And again, number of nights that they want post-cruise. You might get a lot of customers that actually take another full vacation from there. And now your components. So they're on the ship. They're going back to Honolulu. Do they need the flight? No. So we're going to deselect that. Do they need the rent? Do they need a hotel for their post stay? Yes. So we're going to keep that selected. Rental car? Yes or no. You can have it selected or deselect it. And now from there, when you hit search, it's going to look the same as it did on our previous screen with our multiple destination. It's just going to show 3 of them with destination 2 not having anything on there. So that's a pre and post cruise. Those have become pretty popular nowadays. So let me back out just so I can just get kind of a new screen for you. And we're going to get back into our multiple destinations. So is everyone good on the pre and post cruise?
Yeah, that was good.
Cool.
Yes, it was very good, because we do have some people like Jaleesa is doing this. Jaleesa is not on this call, but I walked her through this week about they're going to Rome for a couple days, and then they're going on a cruise, and then so that would be, and that's what I walked her through. But that's really good. Thank you.
Yeah, perfect opportunity for her to use something like that too, because that middle portion is their cruise. Then they can go wherever afterwards. So the next one I want to go over is customers requesting flying from one city, taking the trip, going back to a different city. We already touched base on that on the multiple destinations. That is actually going to be the only place in VAX you can do it. But there is still a way you can do it if it's just one destination. And I'm going to show you how to do it. It's something we like to call a dummy stop. So we're going to do our Los Angeles over to Maui itinerary. So we got LA, add your travel protection, select whatever dates they're going on their trip. Let's go Maui. And so you're going to select the number of nights that they're actually going to stay on their vacation for. So I'm going to do 7 nights. You're going to select the components that you want. I'm going to keep the hotel and the car rental because Maui's a good place for a car rental. So, but now we have destination 2. Well, we can't get rid of destination 2 because the multi-stop is a minimum of 2 destinations. Well, you're going to say, well, how do I do this to get back to a different city without having another destination? Really simple. You're going to select your same destination, so in this case, Maui. You're going to select 0 nights, deselect your components. And now from here, you're going to have that option to change your return city with 1 destination. So simple as just deleting it, adding another destination back in there, or return city. And then you hit search, and it's as easy as that. That's been pretty popular these days too. So that is something that I like to go over as well. So that's how to change your return city. And I think that is all I have for you guys today. It's a lot of information.
That was a lot of information.
It is the longest. Out of all of them, it's the longest one because there's so much to go over within the booking processes.
Right, but that's okay.
Yeah, definitely. And if you are interested in maybe after you go over your group's webinar with Anthony, if you want to go over maybe some modifications, we can reach back out. We can set something up for that too if you want. Just basic modifications like changing your hotel, removing features, adding features, maybe name changes on charter reservations, stuff like that.
Yeah, and we might do that. I like the idea of going through changing the name with a charter reservation and making modifications maybe. But for now, any questions, team, that are those of you, I know if you hopped off, but any questions now for the team that's still on, any questions now, or what we can do is you can send me the list of questions because I know we're tired because we've been on all day after we've worked all day and it's
Yep.
wave season. If we want to, send them to me and I can follow up on an email with him, that might be easier. Which I'm happy to compile any emails. Or you can have an open forum now, whatever works best for you. Or if you think of some questions later, you can always email them to me and I can forward them up. But for now, any questions we have?
I don't, but I thank you so much. It was really helpful.
Oh, it was my pleasure.
That is Jennifer. Jennifer is actually working on a Maui group.
Yay!
I actually have two right now, two Hawaii. So I thought it was really funny because they're flying out of LAX and you're picking Maui out of LAX. So you're doing all the same things I'm going to be doing.
You could have spoken.
Yeah, and I was like, when you said that Maui, I'm like, I wonder if Jennifer's still on. And then I heard your voice because Jennifer and I talked about Maui today on the phone. It's funny because it's funny. I'm like, Jaleesa has this, and then Jennifer has this, and then we lost a booking at Iberostar because of this. It's funny how much I talk to each of you individually, but you don't realize it until I get on this call and I tell all the different stories. Okay, but that was a good example. But Jennifer, hopefully you have a little bit more of a basis for that, but if you need help, of course, you can always reach out to me. I'm happy to help. Okay.
I have all these ideas already I want to start playing with. So
that's good.
Great destination.
Anyone else have any questions, thoughts, comments? You just want to submit your emails to me or anything else before we let him go? Perfect. And I'll be getting an email link of this recording, correct?
Yeah, so what I'll do, because it's going to take about an hour and 15 minutes for that link to actually render and then put to an MP4 and everything like that, I'll get that over to you in the morning right around before 10 o'clock Central. And so you'll get that, and I'll introduce you to Anthony as well, and he'll just kind of piggyback on top of that email, set something up with you for the next dates and times that work for you guys. And then after there it'll be.
Well, I appreciate your late evening. I know that it was later, and I appreciate it. So we do appreciate your time, and you're going to see some great bookings out of our team, of course. So we will talk to you soon. Thank you so much for your help. I do appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. And reach out to me if you have any questions. I'm always here for you, so feel free and reach out.
Great. Thanks so much. Have a great night. Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Good night.